you throw it out, give it right back. Got the record, better get off my track. In the big leagues, now it's a fact. Can't take you seriously. Think that you wanna go? Can't catch me too slow. Look, now I'm on a roll. All you can say is blah, 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 blah. Look, now I'm on a roll. Blah, 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 blah. All I hear is blah, blah, blah.
Welcome to Crown Point High School for a non-conference matchup between the undefeated Crown Point Bulldogs and the 8-5 21st Century Gary Cougars. I'm Cameron Qualls along with Bella Angarone, and later you'll hear from sideline reporter Jayla Miller. As we just got done with the anthem, they are starting to announce the starting lineup. And number 1, point guard, Caden Rhodes. Next up for your Bulldogs starting lineup is Mason Darrell. And at the 3 is number 11, Bryce Peters. And now in at the 4, number 23, senior Dikembe Shaw. And finally, the big man in the middle, number 35, Cooper Molaski. As tip-off begins, we go down to the court to get ready for this non-conference matchup. It's going to be an interesting one, Bella.
It really is. It's going to be a tough one for this team, I think. There's a lot of different matchups, heights especially, I believe, in this game that's going to be important for them to watch out for.
Obviously, the biggest thing is 21st Century having 2 players 6'8" or above, which is a big disadvantage for these Bulldogs, being that their 2 tallest players are only 6'7".
Right, so it's going to be interesting to see who they're matching up against and what they're going to do with them.
As Darrell takes the ball through, Dikembe Shaw looking around for options, passes it up to Caden Rhodes. Rhodes looking around, finds Darrell. Darrell on the wing. Screen by Molaski, doesn't take it. Inside, Darrell, and the layup is good for the first 2 points of the game, only 30 seconds in. Here we go. With the ball, number 12, Jacoby Donaldson. Now over to Ronald Mosley. Mosley looking around. Oh, and Caden Rhodes steals the ball, running down the court, looking around for numbers, doesn't take any. And a foul will be called on 21st Century. Looks like this one will be on number 0, Ronald Mosley.
Yeah, you can already tell that sometimes the height is kind of getting to them now in a way. Because it's going to be against Cooper Molaski, and they have a really, really tough defense here.
Of course, the biggest key in this game is number 33, Caleb Young, who is 6'8", 305, size and weight mismatch for these Bulldogs, especially for Cooper Molaski and Dikembe Shaw, the 2 big men in the middle. As Caden goes up and makes his second free throw, going 1 for 2 there. Gary with the ball. Comes Jerry Triplin inside, and it is good. What a layup by Jerry Triplin. The Bulldogs are wasting no time going back up the court. Dikembe bringing the ball up. Goes back inside, takes a step back. Ooh, and gets a lucky little bounce to sink the shot from about 5 feet away.
Yeah, both these teams have excellent hustle. They just always keep going, no matter who has the ball. They're always following, always eye on the ball, and that's a great thing for them.
Here's Bryce Peters now, score 5-4 with 6:15 left to go. Bryce Peters takes the mid-range jumper. No good, not enough on that one. And now running down the court, Donaldson. Donaldson looking around, Mason not giving him any room to breathe. Tries to poke from behind, doesn't get it. Donaldson inside, misses the layup. Grabs it back, misses again. And almost another offensive rebound. Caleb Young, 2 layups missed there.
That would have been really cool for him to get that, because his height when he grabbed it with that one-hand catch, that would have been great for him. But
see Cooper and Dikembe almost sandwiching in the middle to try and stop him, as Jack Lux now will come in for Mason Darrell. Up top to Cooper. Cooper over to Dikembe on the wing. Dikembe driving inside, takes the lefty, and it's good. Dikembe Shaw, 7-4 now. Bulldogs leading. And here we go. Jacoby Donaldson again, driving inside. Luck staying right on him. Almost out of bounds, saved. Donaldson running to grab it again. No backcourt violation. There was a touch. 3 is no good. Rebounded by Gary. And a foul will be called. Terrence Hayes to shoot 2 free throws.
Yeah, this Gary team has a lot of speed, and I think that Crown Point needs to really keep up with them, because as much as they are already, they need to watch that for that. That's going to be a big key to this game.
As Hayes misses his first free throw, we will have coming in, it will be number 0, Ronald Mosley. As Terrence Haynes lines up for his second free throw and splashes that one, going 1 for 2. Now the Bulldogs bringing it up the court. Caden Rhodes still subbing in for his brother, who is still out with an injury. Cooper Molaski, high post, looking around. Over, back up to Rhodes. Swan calling plays from the sideline, trying to get something going for the Bulldogs. Rhodes finds Bryce Peters. Peters finds a wide open Caden Rhodes. Gets shut down real quick. Jack Lux from way downtown, no good. Rebounded by Triplett. Triplett running down the court. Over to Donaldson. Donaldson looking inside, doesn't pass it. Back to Hayes. And it will stay Gary ball, poked out by Crown Point. So far, Gary not using size much to their advantage.
No, they're really not, but I have a feeling they might later on if they need to.
As a wild pass gets thrown by Hayes, it will be Crown Point basketball going the other way. 4:35 left to go in the first. So far, fairly even matchup. Both these teams have really brought it so far today. As Rhodes, downhill speed, stops, looks around, can't find anything. Dikembe gets the ball. Dikembe driving in the baseline. Beautiful pass to Lux, over to Rhodes. Rhodes inside to Cooper. Cooper with the pump fake, back to Lux, over to Rhodes. Rhodes to Peters, rotational offense, we see it all the time. As Bryce Peters looks around, and almost stolen by Terrence Hayes, but it will be Crown Point basketball on the sideline.
This Gary's defense is doing really well blocking each player, because none of these players are able to score. None of them can really, they're open, but they can't make it.
The fortunate thing for Crown Point is that that ball should have been out of bounds.
Really,
when he passed it on the baseline, it touched the line. Ref didn't see it. As Cooper Molaski over to Bryce Peters. Peters over to Rhodes. Rhodes looking around, looking inside. Dikembe Shaw now with the ball over to Cooper, over to Peters. Peters takes the 3. No good. Rebound Lux. Lux inside to Cooper. Cooper with the layup, and it's good. Cooper Molaski with the lay after a very long offensive sequence. That was nearly a minute.
That was excellent communication on Crown Point's end. They really passed it really well there.
Oh, and throws it over, and another missed layup. And another missed layup by Caleb Young. 0 for 4 now on those attempts. Oh, and what a block by Terrence Hayes to stop Caden Rhodes from getting to the basket. Here we go. No good on the lucky bounce. Gets the ball back again, and there we go. Ronald Mosley again misses. Caden Rhodes fighting for the ball, can't grab it. Terrence Haynes gets the ball, shoots the 3, and it's good. Terrence Haynes with the 3-pointer, cutting that Bulldog lead down to 1 point. The Bulldogs have held the lead the whole game, but have been close to losing it multiple times. And now Hayes dribbling up the court with Peters on him. Darrell and Wilson to sub in for Crown Point.
They really need to watch out for Hayes, because Hayes leads all of the Gary's teams. Like all of their leading, he leads every record that they have right now, so they really need to watch out for him.
And here's Cooper Molaski from the pass from Dikembe Shaw. 2 points for Cooper Molaski, bringing that Bulldog lead back up to 3. It's been so far a very competitive, very just hard-nosed game.
It really has. And like I said, the speed in this game is crazy. Both teams are following the ball really well, and their defenses are impeccable. I don't know.
And now a timeout will be called by Gary just to kind of, you know, they're almost there. They just need to take that extra step to go. But to sub in for Gary is number 34, Matrell Harbin, who is 6'11", 288. That's going to be a tough matchup for Dikembe or Cooper
any
to
of
handle.
them. It really is. The size is going to be a huge difference maker here. I just want to see what they're going to do with it.
Taller than both of them by 4 inches. That is not something you often see, especially against Crown Point. And now Daryl and MJ Wilson are in for Crown Point.
This is going to give Dikembe a good challenge, I believe, for sure here.
As Terrence Hayes goes to pass the ball in. All the way over to Jacoby Donaldson, guarded by Wilson. Donaldson looking around. Pass is deflected and off of number 23, Jordan Jackson's foot. It will be Crown Point ball. Also in for the Bulldogs is number 25, Reed Kagi. Bryce Peters bringing the ball up. We see this all the time when they don't have their true point guard in. They often have Bryce or even Dikembe bring the ball up. So he's standing at the top of the C looking around for trying to get a play running over to Kagi.
And there's
Kagi
really
back to Bryce.
There's really no good options here. The defense is doing really well trying to block them, and they really are stopping them.
Mason Darrow misses the 3, but it will be a foul on number 23, Jordan Jackson. Mason to shoot 3 free throws now for the Bulldogs, try and extend that lead to more than 1 bucket.
Yeah,
and
Mason,
they will change the call and not call it a shooting foul. It is now just an on-the-ground foul, and the Bulldogs will pass it in. It's an interesting switch for the call there as Mason Darrow over to Peters. Peters back to Darrow. Darrow to Kagi. Kagi over to high post, Dikembe Shaw. Dikembe looking around, gets double teamed. Big pass to MJ. MJ taking it inside. No foul. And it will remain Bulldog ball.
I don't know if you noticed, but MK is a very physical player. He goes at the people, and he does really well.
So far, this Gary team's, even though the Bulldogs are leading, seem to be outstrengthening, but not outplaying as MJ Wilson gets a wide open layup in the paint. Now score 13-8 for the Bulldogs. Mosley bringing the ball up all the way over to Hayes. Hayes stolen by Kagi. Kagi to Peters. Peters in the corner to Darryl. Darryl pump fakes back to Peters for the 3. No good, and rebounded by Hayes. Pass all the way up to Donaldson. Pass back to Donaldson now. Sorry, Mosley. Rebound and the bucket by Jordan Jackson. Immediately downhill for the Bulldogs as MJ Wilson gets the ball, comes back out. Mason Darrow looking around, finds Kagi in the corner. Kagi for 3. No good. MJ can't get the rebound. Hayes pass up to Donaldson. Back into Hayes, and the bucket's good. And now the Bulldogs only leading by 1 point. Trying to start something fast. Over to Peters, over to Kagi. MJ back to Peters. 4 seconds left on the clock to Kagi. Kagi looking around to Peters. Less than a second. And the shot would have been no good anyway. Competitive first half
It really
from
is.
these Bulldogs. 13-12 for this, and at the end of the first, absolutely impressive. And now down to our sideline reporter for tonight, Jayla Miller.
Despite the size on the floor, both teams are attacking the basket early. Crown Point has attempted just 1 3-pointer here in the first quarter, with most of their offense coming right in the paint. Defensively, Crown Point's focus has been keeping 21st Century off the glass. They're an excellent offensive rebounding team. All signs point to a fast-paced game tonight. Lots of flashing and pressure at the rim. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Jayla. And she's absolutely right. I mean, the offensive rebounds have been a big key for Gary right now, even even if they're not capitalizing or making all their layups, they're getting all the boards they need to and doing a great job defensively at stopping this Crown Point team from getting easy baskets. As she said, 1 3-pointer the entire quarter.
And they're doing a really great job stopping them. Their defense is doing really well, I think, on both sides, but I don't know, Gary's defense is kind of giving Crown Point a run for their money. I don't know.
Yeah, you know, we haven't seen much action so far from Matrell Harbin, the 6'11 senior, but we have seen a lot of action from Caleb Young, who has been the main reason for all their offensive rebounds, but also the main reason for a lot of their misses. As the second quarter goes underway, Gary to pass it in. Daryl not giving anything to him and goes back. It will remain Gary ball, but extraordinary full court press defense by Daryl. He's mad he didn't get those free throws earlier.
And I think that's why he's playing a lot harder than he was earlier before. He wants those free throws, and he's kind of hoping for something.
To pass it in, Terrence Hayes. Back to Hayes to bring up the ball. Bryce Peters on him, pressing him up full court. Double team by Caden. That's all the way up, and it's good. First basket of the quarter by Gary, by number 12, Jacoby Donaldson. Inside, easy layup for Caden Rhodes.
Amazing hustle by this Crown Point team right now. They pass it to each other. They're very communicative, and that's great.
Grabbing that lead right back. Misses the layup. Rebound over to Donaldson. Donaldson with the ball up top. Screen by Harbin. Donaldson with Daryl not giving him any room to breathe. But he drives inside over Cooper Molaski, no good. Oh, and an extraordinary play by number 3, Jerry Triplett, bouncing it off of Dikembe Shaw's leg to get the ball back for Gary. That's high basketball IQ right there. Inside, and it's good by Harbin. This is what we were worried about.
Yes. His size for sure helped him through that.
But immediately right back, Cooper Molaski with the layup to retake the lead. Already 4 lead changes in this quarter. Here we go. Over to Mosley. Mosley out to the corner. 3 is air ball, but the rebound by number 3, Jerry Triplett again.
And I feel like Crown Point does not expect this type of stuff. They're so used to winning these games by a lot, and I think this team is really giving them a run for what this is a great competition for them.
And the 3, no good. Rebounded under the basket, spins around, takes the layup, and it's good. Now Gary leading 20-17 with 6:13 left to go in the second quarter. But inside to Cooper Molaski, misses the layup. Rebounded by Gary. Running up the court, Mosley. Mosley inside, and it's good by Terrence Hayes. This Gary crowd is screaming right now, and a timeout will be called on Crown Point.
The crowd is so lively right now. Everyone is standing up, cheering, and it's a packed house today.
This might be the biggest away crowd I've seen.
I think it really is. They're really supportive of this team, and I think that's really helping them right now.
I mean, you can feel the energy as Gary was going through, just shift from Crown Point's side to Gary's side.
Everyone's cheering right now, and it's exciting to watch.
And now, if you're Swan, what do you tell Crown Point? Or how do you put some fire back into your guys?
I would say follow the ball and stay on them because they're very fast. And of course, like you said, the height, even though if they don't have the ball very much, like their height, they can get down the court maybe faster than Dikembe and Cooper can. So I would follow them, be on the guard for any shifts of the court at all. Like always watch them is what I would tell my team right now.
And not just staying on them and watching the ball, but getting that inside box position. They are getting destroyed on offensive rebounds right now.
They really are. And I feel like that's very unlike Crown Point right now, so they really need to watch that.
Very unlike Crown Point. Dikembe Shaw will now pass in the ball for Crown Point.
And you could tell that Dikembe's ready. He wants to get back in the game. I think Coach motivated him, so he's ready to get back into it.
Swan with some extra words for Daryl before he got back out there, as Caden Rhodes will now take the ball up the court, over to Daryl. Daryl to Caden Rhodes. Back over to Daryl, inside to Cooper. Cooper back up to Rhodes, over to Dikembe. Dikembe takes the three, and it's good. Dikembe Shaw. Dikembe Shaw with the three-pointer. Not the guy you'd expect to take a three-pointer with this tight of a game, but he's got the confidence to do it.
He really does. He will go at anything, and his like records show that. And he tries everything and anything, and he does great at it all. So
now cutting the Gary lead to 2 as Jacoby Donaldson will take the ball up. Pass over to Triplett, back to Mosley. As Mosley dribbles the ball near the logo, looking around for some type of play to develop. Back to Donaldson. Donaldson looks around, back to Mosley in the corner. Mosley tries to pass it inside, stolen by Dikembe Shaw in a wild pass, but Daryl gets possession. Daryl over to Rhodes. Rhodes fumbles the ball, back to Shaw. Shaw driving inside. He's gonna do this himself, but he's blocked. Over to Mosley, stolen again by Bryce Peters. Peters driving inside to Cooper, and one on the layup. Cooper Molaski gets the bucket and will shoot one free throw to get this lead back for the Bulldogs. What a sequence.
They're very excited about this, you could tell, and I think Cooper's pretty happy to get this free throw for them right now.
What a sequence, an absolute must-need free throw right now to, again, get some fire back. That was the loudest I've heard the crowd all night for Crown Point. And he misses the free throw, rebounded by Shaw. And Shaw gets fouled now. 2 more free throws coming. Again, another bad foul by Gary to give them easy buckets, but clearly not too easy as Cooper misses his. Dikembe will now shoot 2 as number 33, Caleb Young, is ready to check in for Gary. As Dikembe sinks his first free throw, now 23-22 with 4:46 left in the second quarter. If you're just joining the broadcast, I'm Cameron Qualls alongside Bella Angarone, and you will hear later from sideline reporter Jayla Miller as we get in this non-conference matchup. Now to bring the ball up is Hayes. Hayes over to Donaldson. Donaldson back to Hayes. All the way over to Mosley. Back over to Hayes. Inside. Can't get it over Cooper. And it will be Gary Ball. Looks like a Crown Point player must have touched it as MJ Wilson comes in for Caden Rhodes. Terrence Hayes to pass it in for the Cougars. As Gary looks to take back the lead that has been switched many times this quarter. Hayes looking around. Back up to Triplett. Triplett over to Donaldson. Donaldson over to Mosley.
I think this Crown Point defense is finally trying to figure out what Gary's doing, and they're doing what Gary was doing to them earlier, so I think it's some payback time at this point.
Playing a very laxed offense right now. For the three, no good. Rebounded by Shaw. All the way out to MJ Wilson. MJ going inside, and he will be fouled on the shot. 2 free throws for MJ Wilson. If he had a little bit more space, I think he would have dunked that thing.
Yeah, I think so too. And like I said, I think this team is just happy to keep getting these free throws and hoping to keep scoring.
As MJ lines up for his first free throw, and it's good. Now 25-22 Bulldogs. Still a 1 bucket lead for the Bulldogs. Sinking this free throw will definitely help get them in a better position than needing to score twice in order to even tie them.
I think Crown Point right now is just hoping for any lead over them. So this is great for them that he just sunk that.
Here we go now. Jacoby Donaldson bringing the ball up over to Mosley. Back to Donaldson. All the way over to Hayes. Hayes driving inside, passes it inside, and there it is. Caleb Young with the bucket.
That was like a little trick play. You were not expecting him to get that bucket. You thought it was going to be Hayes.
And Dikembe answers right back with a pull-up 3. his second 3 of the game. This is really a dogfight.
It truly is. Both these teams are really well matched up, and it's going to be pretty aggressive throughout this whole entire game, I think.
Donaldson now bringing the ball up over to Hayes. Hayes immediately gets pressed by Darrell and Shaw, and a foul will be called on, I think it's going to be on Mason Darrell. A push foul is called. Terrence Hayes now to pass in the ball to Jacoby Donaldson.
You could definitely see Mason Darrell's attitude right now. He does not want that foul, and he's really upset that he got it. So.
Well, one foul or one turnover can ruin a team's momentum.
It really can, but I don't think that's going to let him stop him. Mason Darrell's going to keep going.
And no backcourt is called, as they say it was tipped. But back inside, and it's good. Caleb Young
and catching that ball with one hand, I feel like that's his signature right now. He's doing great.
And Dikembe with another 3, and this time it won't go. As now Terrence Hayes brings the ball up, passes it all the way up to Donaldson. Inside again to Young. Young misses the shot, rebounded by Wilson. Wilson up to Peters. Peters looking around. Peters inside, just takes the contact and doesn't make the shot, but will be awarded 2 free throws.
Yeah, as you can see, Wilson's attitude right there, it was good. It was definitely great for them right there. We needed that.
They definitely need to win the turnover battle at the moment, as now Nathan Drahosky and Caden Rhodes are coming into the game for the Bulldogs. And Peters misses his first free throw. Now Drahosky and Rhodes will come in for Cooper, or not just Drahosky right now, will come in for Cooper Molaski. Drahosky is 6'6", so still a height disadvantage, but still a very tall piece of this team. Peters shoots a second and makes his second, and now Caden Rhodes will come in for Bryce Peters. 4-point lead for the Bulldogs, 2:48 left to go in the second quarter, as now Jacoby Donaldson brings the ball up over to Hayes.
Yeah, Nate Drahosky has done a lot. He's doing really great with rebounds, so I think they put him in for that reason. He's going to do great for them in that.
And Hayes takes a deep 3 and misses it off the side of the backboard. No foul called on the shot. Dikembe Shaw bringing the ball up for the Bulldogs.
Dikembe is ready.
And a travel will be called. Mason wanted that ball wide open in the corner, but it will be a walk and another turnover for the Bulldogs. Donaldson now bringing it up for the Cougars. Will remain Gary Ball, poked out by Dikembe Shaw. It is still an absolute dogfight right now.
It is. The points are really close again, and I don't know what they're going to do. I think Crown Point wants to keep this lead, and as they should, they just got to keep going with this.
Looks like Cooper is back in the game after Drahosky comes out for an apparent trainer reason. We'll see what happens with that. But now Donaldson passes over to Mosley, inside to Young, back outside, goes up for the reverse, and they call him out of bounds. It will be Bulldog ball. A lot of close calls in this game. You know, things that look like they're baskets and then are called back, or travels, or just, it's aggressive, but it's becoming sloppy.
It really is, and I like that, aggressive but becoming sloppy. And I think that they're just playing so aggressive to the point where they don't even realize what they're doing anymore.
Inside to Dikembe, out in the corner to Mason. Darrell for the 3, no good. Fight for the rebound, Shaw comes down with it. Shaw to MJ, MJ for the 3, and it's good. The sophomore MJ Wilson with the 3-pointer to extend this Bulldog lead to 7, the biggest lead that they have had all game.
And I feel like that's saying something from Crown Point. Usually Crown Point has a lead for a long time, so it's a tough game for them right now.
Timeout definitely helped them. Swan talked some sense into them, as now it will be Crown Point ball, the bobbled pass by Harbin. Lead to Crown Point getting another chance to keep this lead extending. Swan screaming plays from the sideline, pumping some energy into these guys.
And that's great communication by coach right now. I think that's what they really need.
Inside to Dikembe, 3 guys on him. Over to Daryl. And a travel, took a step a little too quick. And now Gary will get the ball back. A lot of travels called so far. A lot of out of bounds, a lot of costly turnovers. That is definitely one of them. There's now 1:14 left to go in the second quarter. Bulldogs up by 7. Donaldson. Over to Hayes. Hayes for the 3. No good. Rebounded by Gary, but it's a foul on Cooper Molaski.
Yeah, you can tell coach does not like that one at all. And as I wouldn't like it either if I was the coach right now. So they just got to watch out for those.
Lots of fouls in this game as well. Over to pass it in. And a jump ball will be called. It will be Crown Point basketball. Little fight for the ball by Harbin and Shaw. As Caden Rhodes brings the ball up for the Bulldogs.
You can definitely tell the motivation in this team now. They want to play out these last 50 seconds well.
Caden Rhodes over to Daryl. Daryl, hook pass to Wilson, but it's too much, and it will be another turnover for the Bulldogs. And now coming in for Mason Darrell is senior number 0, Jack Lux, brother of former Crown Point graduate of 2023, AJ Lux.
Yeah, Jack Lux is a team player. He really is. So I think that's why they wanted to put him in here right now.
Hayes goes over to Donaldson. Donaldson back to Hayes. Hayes with Rhodes on him, back to Donaldson. Donaldson looking around inside, outside, Mosley, Donaldson, Hayes. Hayes going inside over Cooper Molaski, and a charge will be called, so it will be Crown Point basketball. Cooper putting his body on the line for that call. Crown Point will get another chance with 20.5 seconds to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, you can tell Bryce Peters is eager to get in. He ran up to that X, and he wants to come into this game for the last 20 seconds.
Well, you get a feeling that they want him to take the last shot.
Right. I mean, I think that's a great choice by coach, so here we go.
Now Bryce Peters and Caleb Young come into the game. And Bryce Peters will bring the ball up for the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs also in bonus, so if they get fouled, they're shooting no matter what. As Bryce Peters over to Wilson. Wilson back to Peters, over to Lux. Lux inside to Cooper. Cooper out to Wilson, over to Peters. Peters thought about the shot, didn't take it. MJ Wilson for the 3. No good. Rebounded by Gary. And the shot is no good. Crown Point leading by 7 points to end the second quarter. Definitely a resurgence from this Bulldog team, and a way for them to show that they're ready to come play.
Yes, they really are ready to come play, and the speed and agility that both teams have right now is really benefiting both of them.
And Gary needs to find a way after halftime to get back into the game. And now down to sideline reporter Jayla Miller and assistant coach Holubowski.
21st Century has been really aggressive on the offensive glass, getting second chance points. The game plan was to keep them off the boards. Is this more about fundamentals or positioning tonight?
Oh, we got to get better positioning. They are on the inside of us, so we have to work our way in and out and get a body on them. We knew that would be their game plan, their offensive rebounding. They're one of the best in the state, so we got to clean that up, and we'll be telling them right now.
What do you expect to see in the second half to secure a victory tonight?
We're going to have to keep them off the glass, find number 1, and get some second chance points down at our end. We got a lot of work to do.
Thank you.
And I mean,
back to you guys.
She's absolutely right. Now, exactly what Coach Holubowski said about the offensive boards, that is the biggest thing for this Bulldog team, and something that they really diminished in the second half of that second quarter, in that they got a lot more rebounds and out-rebounded Gary, which is a lot different from the first quarter.
Yeah, it truly is a lot different. And like you said, they just need to keep off the glass and find number one. So that's what we're going to hope to see in the second half.
And we hope to see the continued very competitive play that we've had so far. I mean, the score now up 7, but still the most competitive game that I have been a part of. It's been an absolutely as I keep saying, a dogfight out there.
It really is, and they're playing aggressive, and I think that's great for both teams, and they just need to keep that up, and it's going to keep an excellent game throughout the rest.
And now we'll go to a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we'll give you some first half analysis.
Farm Bureau Insurance, we're not just good at insurance. We're good at Emma and Jake's just baby-proof their 2-bedroom bungalow to prepare for baby number 1 insurance. We're good at Madeline and Chance's just gave in and became minivan people to make room for baby number 2 insurance. And we're good at Gabby and Nate's just moved to a house with a bigger backyard to welcome fur baby number 3 insurance. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
The goal isn't graduation day. It's a better every day after. It's the first day in your new career, your first pay raise, the 5th day of that week-long vacation. It's the first paid holiday home with your family, or the day of your last car loan payment, much sooner than you thought. At Ivy Tech Community College, we don't just care about your degree, we care about your life. Let's get started at ivytech.edu.
At Crown Point High School, we are a connected community. The larger we grow, the stronger we become, because at our core are values that guide us.
What does it mean to be part of our Bulldog community?
It means courage, facing adversity head-on, leading with grit, and knowing that every setback is a step forward.
Crown Point taught me not to be afraid to try something new.
It means creativity, from center stage to classroom labs. It is where passion meets purpose and innovation takes shape. Bulldogs bring ideas to life. It means citizenship, giving back, lifting others, building a stronger community together.
Our students learn that leadership begins with service.
It means culture, every story, every background, every voice, adding to our shared experience. It means being future ready, with more than 20 career pathways, 60 dual credit and AP courses, and preparation for college, career, or service.
I know Crown Point is helping me get where I want to go.
And through it all, we stay connected. With more than 75 clubs, sports, and activities, there's a place for everyone. Every classroom, every activity, every team. Woven together into one community. Crown Point High School, where the heart of a Bulldog stays with you, ready to take on the world. Connected at our core.
Back to game night here, presented by CPTV. I'm Cameron Qualls along with Bella Angarone, and soon you will get a down by the court interview between Jayla Miller, our sideline reporter tonight, and head coach of 21st Century, Quincy Taylor. Now, Bella, so far in this first half, what are you seeing? What are some of the big keys to this game so far?
So far, it has been the speed of this Gary team, and I think Crown Point needs to start keeping up with them because they have the speed and they just need to go with it. And I think also the size of some of these players one was 6'8" and 6'11", like that is really hurting Cooper Mulaski and Dikembe Shaw. I think they really need to watch out for that as well, and I think Coach Swan is definitely helping them try to work through that.
Especially what we saw in the first quarter with how many offensive rebounds this Gary team got. It was a rough first quarter, especially with Gary leading for a couple points in this game. Lead change after lead change after lead change, and now the Bulldogs have kind of pulled away with a 7-point lead. But with how this Gary team has been playing, I wouldn't put it past them to get that score back tied and take the lead again.
Oh, for sure. I think that they are definitely going to come back at this game at some point of the game, whether that be third or fourth quarter, and Crown Point needs to watch out for that.
Of course, as assistant coach Holubowski said, they need to watch out and find number 1, who is Terrence Haynes Jr., who leads the team in 4 out of 5 major stats, including as a point guard blocks per game. But now, down to our sideline reporter, Jayla Miller, with Coach Quincy Taylor.
Game tonight, and your team aggressively attacking the board. Are you happy with what you've seen?
We can be a little bit more aggressive on the glass, box out a little bit better, and take care of the basketball a whole lot better.
What do you expect to see out of the boys to secure a victory tonight?
The things I just mentioned, taking care of the basketball, rebounding as a group, continue to share the basketball, continue to keep and control our pace, and see what the basketball guys got.
Thank you.
Thank you. See what the basketball gods got. That is some quote from Coach Quincy Taylor, but he's absolutely right. And the big thing that he said is playing at their pace, which clearly their pace is fast and a lot of movement and a lot of rebounds. So everything he said is just culminating into their game plan, which was come in here as the underdogs and show Crown Point what we're made of. Our record might not show it, but we're a team not to be messed with.
Right, and they're 8-5 right now, and they're doing excellent. I would not expect that they're 8-5 coming out against a 14-0 Crown Point team. They were above Crown Point for a little while there, and I don't know. I think that they're getting the crowd hyped. That's helping them motivation. Hayes is a great player, and the size of those two guys it's crazy.
Now then again, it is very difficult to judge non-conference opponents, as sometimes they play tougher competition than we do for most of the season.
Right, and that's probably what those 5 games were, because I don't understand how they're coming out here playing this team and they have 5 losses. Like, they're doing excellent against Crown Point. And I mean, Crown Point is doing really well too. They have the lead right now, as we know, but I don't know what Crown Point's gonna have to do.
And the main thing that we have to see is what adjustments Coach Taylor makes during the second half and how he orchestrates this offense and defense, rather, to take back that lead and beat this Crown Point team. Because the big thing that fell during that first half at the end was their defense.
It really did fall, and I don't know what they're going to do to try to get it back, and it's going to be very interesting to see what they're going to do against this Crown Point offense, because I think Crown Point's going to come out pretty strong after Coach Swan's pep talk in there. Yeah,
they're going to need to, because I've never seen Crown Point fall that far to where the opposite crowd was louder than our home crowd.
Yes, and like we mentioned before, the crowd is so lively. There's so many people here from Gary, and I don't know, I think that's really helping Gary right now. The cheerleaders are pumping, even ours are too, but I don't know, it's a lot more for Gary right now. I'm telling you, I see maybe as many people here for 21st Century that I see for Crown Point. It is a very even stance today. Yeah, and it's very unheard of. We barely see anybody like that, and I don't know, it's a very lively crowd. And now the second quarter is going underway as Terrence Hayes will pass in the ball for Gary. To receive it is Jacoby Donaldson. And as assistant coach said, they need to watch number 1, so this is their time to see if they are. And a spin move by Donaldson. Darrell not giving him any room to breathe. Donaldson inside over Cooper, and it's good.
Jacoby Donaldson now cutting the lead down to 5 as Caden Rhodes brings the ball up over to Daryl. Daryl looking around over to Peters, back to Daryl. Daryl over to Rhodes, back to Daryl, inside to Shaw. Looking around, brings it back out. Oh, and it was supposed to be an inside pass to Rhodes, but tipped by Mason Daryl. Miscommunication, turnover by the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I don't think Coach Swan is liking that one. They need to really communicate better coming out of this locker room.
Coach Swan is not liking any part of this game because
No,
he
he's
knows
not.
that they should not be winning by this little. As now over to Donaldson. Donaldson looking around over to Hayes. Hayes back to Donaldson. Donaldson takes the 3. Why not? And it's a 3-pointer coming out of the gate for Gary. Now cuts the lead to 2. Only 1 minute into the second half. What an absolutely great shot and a very confident shot at that.
Yeah, and you can tell this defense is strong for Gary right now because Crown Point doesn't know what to do. They're trying to create something, and obviously it's like scrambling right now.
Almost another turnover, but Rhodes over to Peters. Dikembe thought about the shot, goes back inside, tipped by Gary. Mason with a 3. No good. Dikembe with the rebound, going inside, and it's good for Dikembe Shaw. 35-31 now, 4-point lead for the Bulldogs. Back inside. Oh, and the foul will be called. 2 free throws coming up for Jerry Triplett.
Yeah, this is not what we want for Crown Point. They need to keep watching this team, and I feel like their eyes are on the ball, but they're not on the players.
So far, this is seeming very reminiscent of the beginning of the second quarter. Gary coming out strong. We'll see if the trend stays where they seem to flatline towards the end. But Triplett misses his first free throw. Bulldogs still lead by 4 as he lines up for his second. No subs for either team to come in as Triplett sinks his second free throw. Bulldog lead now down to 3. 1 basket can tie this game up. Shaw inside to Molaski. Molaski just takes it inside and makes the layup. Cooper Molaski brings this lead back up to 5.
Yeah, Cooper Molaski did not like that it was one basket and then they would be tied. He did not like that, so he had to cut the lead up.
Oh, and he just takes the 3 and hits it. Terrence Hayes just pulls up and hits the 3 like no one's around him.
I'm sure they're not happy. They said they wanted to watch number 1, and here he is coming out like that.
What a shot, even getting hit on that shot. I'm flabbergasted. Shaw all the way over to Daryl in the corner. Daryl goes inside, falls down, no fouls called. As now Donaldson bringing the ball up, takes the free throw line shot, misses it. And a push will be called on Terrence Hayes. Crown Point will get the ball back. 2-point lead for the Bulldogs. 5:39 left to go in the third quarter. Again, dogfight.
It really is. It's really aggressive. They're coming out here, and both teams both want this lead, and Crown Point wants to keep it. So
it has been a tense game. Caden Rhodes over to Daryl. Daryl over to Dikembe, back inside to Cooper. Cooper to Peters to Daryl. Daryl takes the 3 off the front rim. End up getting the ball. Mosley inside. And the bucket is good by Triplett. Dikembe didn't even jump for it.
no, Dikembe needs to watch for that, and I'm shocked Coach Swan is a little bit more mad about that one.
Here we go, Hayes inside, and it's good for the Cougars to take this lead with 5 minutes left to go in the third quarter. The Bulldogs were leading just 30 seconds ago.
Swan is really mad. You could totally see it in his face. He was just yelling at them a minute ago.
Crawford.
He does not like what that was.
Here we go, Rhodes over to Shaw. You can hear this Gary bench fired up to Peters for the 3. No good. And an over the back foul will be called on Mason Daryl, his second foul of the game.
He can't keep getting fouls like this. This is hurting Crown Point, and you could tell that he does not like it either.
Off-ball fouls are not the kind you want to see because they just cause turnovers as Donaldson brings the ball up for Gary, looking to extend this lead and put some pressure on Crown Point. Terrence Hayes looking around. Young grabbed by Cooper, and he's out of bounds on the baseline. Young putting that pressure on him to pass. Gary will get the ball at the baseline now, setting up an opportunity for a quick basket. 4:20 left to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, that was excellent hustle by Cooper. He really tried to keep that ball, but just stepping on that line, even a little bit over, it's not great for them.
Terrence Hayes inside, and a foul on Mason Darrell. His third. He'll definitely be subbed out for MJ Wilson right now. 3 fouls in the third. It's not very great for any player, as Jerry Triplett will now line up for his 2 free throws. MJ Wilson will come in for Mason Darrell.
Yeah, Mason Darrell right now is trying to explain to Coach what's going on, and Coach is like, I don't really care what's going on, just stop getting fouls. You can totally see it on their faces.
Triplett sinks his first free throw, extending this lead to 3. If he makes another, it will be a 2-basket game for the Bulldogs. Triplett for his second, and it's good. He's now 2 for 3 on the night. All the way out to Peters. Peters to Rhodes. Back to Peters. Over to Cooper Mulaski, inside to Shaw. Shaw looking around.
That defense for Gary right now is holding him down.
Donaldson in a fight for the ball. And they end up getting it. Hayes thought about the shot, didn't take it inside. And he just muscles it in there, and 1 for the Gary 21st Century Cougars. This crowd is absolutely electric. Caleb Young gets the bucket and will now shoot 1 free throw. Their lead now up to 6, possibly going up to 7.
I'm sure hearing this crowd is going to help them with this free throw.
In the games that I have done, this is the most intense opposing crowd I have ever heard in this Crown Point arena.
I think they're really keeping him hyped right now. Like, Crown Point needs to start getting up or doing something.
Bryce Peters over to Rhodes. Rhodes again looking around for anything. Peters chanting from the Gary sideline. Caden Rhodes goes inside, makes the bucket now. Lead down to 4. Now Mosley. Mosley driving inside. Loses the ball again.
Yeah, that's a struggle trying to get that ball back.
And it looks like it will be Gary Ball calling a foul on MJ Wilson.
And you can tell Gary is so excited about that one right there. But Coach Swan is not happy about that foul.
Now to Pat. Oh, they are in bonus already with 3:15 left to go in the third quarter. So they will shoot 2 free throws every time they are fouled from now on. And Mosley now at the line for 2 free throws. This is not something you want this early in the quarter.
No,
as he sinks his
It's truly
first.
not. And you can tell, I guarantee Mason Darrell's not going to be coming back out because they don't want to risk any of those fouls right there.
Maybe not in the third quarter.
Nope.
Mosley lines up for his second after already making his first to extend this lead to 6. And he sinks it. Lead now 6 points for the 21st Century Gary Cougars.
You can tell Crown Point is trying to make something happen. They're spreading out, trying to find any open space to shoot a basket or get some points, but
Should we expect a Dikembe Shaw 3-pointer at this point?
let's hope so.
Never mind, stolen by Gary. Inside, makes MJ jump and makes the layup. Ronald Mosley gets a bounce off the corner. It will be a timeout for Crown Point. Cougars now up 8 points with 2:54 left to go in the third. They are in double bonus. They have all the momentum. What do we do? Look at this steal. Gets the ball, passes it easily, and then makes MJ jump and bounces it off the far side of the backboard to make it go in. Had to put some spin on it. I mean, absolutely electric crowd. This Cougars team is the closest that I've ever seen to being able to beat this Crown Point boys Bulldog basketball team.
Right, and Crown Point, I have never seen them be so far behind right now. It's 39-47, Cougars winning, and wow, this is going to be tough for the Bulldogs to come back on, and I'm sure they will, but you never know.
And now it will take at least 3 baskets for the Bulldogs to even tie the game. What are you telling your team right now if you're Swan?
Like they said before, watch number 1. They haven't been. I feel like I haven't seen any changes, and Hayes has been getting a lot of things. So they really need to watch this, and they need to keep the momentum high. Even if the crowd's not cheering for them and they're cheering for Gary, take it. Just keep hype right now.
Hayes has been facilitating this offense and really giving them the charge to get this lead. I mean, he might not be scoring. I mean, he's got 13 points, so he is scoring the most, but he's also facilitating this offense and getting the ball to other people like Triplett, who has 11 points on the night. Your leading scorers for Crown Point are Dikembe with 14 and Cooper Mulaski with 10. Wilson over to Cooper. Cooper over to Rhodes. Rhodes surveying the D. Over to MJ. MJ again looking around to Shaw, to Rhodes.
Again, this defense is holding them down. They can't get anything right now.
Back to Peters, to Wilson. Wilson throws it back to the top to Peters, to Shaw. Back to Peters.
I think what Coach Swan needs to start figuring out right now and helping his team through is how to get through these little gaps that Gary is not providing them, but they need to start making them at this point.
Rhodes, a very slow Crown Point offense, which is not something we often see. Jack Luck's going to check into the game. Cooper Mulaski back out to Rhodes. Rhodes to Peters. Peters takes the 3, and it's good. Bryce Peters now to cut that lead down to 5. 2-basket game now for the Bulldogs. And a foul will be called on Caden Rhodes, a push. And it will, and Jack Lux will now come into the game for the Bulldogs for Caden Rhodes. We see Crown Point running this interesting no point guard lineup that they've been running, having Bryce Peters, the forward, bring up the ball. Peters looking around, Gary seeming kind of relaxed defensively. Over to Lux, Peters to Shaw. Shaw to Wilson. Wilson inside to Lux. Inside to MJ. MJ takes the turnaround, no good. Rebounded by Gary. Number 1 Hayes will take it up. And inside, and it's good. Oh my goodness. Jerry Triplett takes it in for his 13th point of the game.
The communication between Hayes and Triplett is unreal right now. They are just passing it to each other and communicating really well with this team.
And Triplett again now gets fouled by Bryce Peters off of another pass from Hayes. Triplett will now go and shoot his 4th and 5th free throws of this game. I mean, he goes up for the layup, comes down with the rebound, and there immediately 2 players already are downhill. It's impressive how fast that this Gary team is.
Yeah, I think Crown Point needs to watch out for the speed. Like we were saying before, they have so much speed, Gary does, and I think Crown Point is not expecting it. And even after 3 quarters, they should now know that they're fast, and I feel like they're not getting it.
Mason Darrell comes back into the game for MJ Wilson. Darrell having 3 fouls, 2 away from being out of here as Triplett sinks his 2nd free throw. Lead now up to 9 points, the biggest of the game for either side.
I think Swan is just hoping that Darrell doesn't get them any more fouls right now.
And the floater by Dikembe is short. Back out to Peters. Peters surveying the defense, over to Darrell. Back to Peters. Peters inside to Shaw, inside to Cooper. Cooper makes him jump and makes the layup, cutting the lead back down to 7. With 20 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter, Donaldson over to Hayes.
That was a great trick play by Cooper. I think that really helped get Crown Point's momentum back up.
And then almost made 3 by Donaldson. And now Bryce Peters will come down. Pass to Mason Darrell for the 3. No good. Rebounded, and he throws it all the way up and doesn't make it. Terrence Hayes misses that last second shot. No foul was called on the Mason Darrell shot, but that will be the end of the third quarter. Cougars leading by 7.
Yeah, let's hope Crown Point can try to talk some more sense into this team and start figuring out what they're going to do and hope to not get any more fouls right now.
This is the biggest opposing lead I have ever seen held since I've been doing this.
Yeah, and that's crazy to hear with Crown Point. I feel like they've been doing so well. And now look at what's been going on with this game. It's definitely a tough matchup for them.
Coach Quincy Taylor definitely talked some sense into them at the end of the half, to the point where they have the same lead that the Bulldogs had on them at the end of halftime.
Right, and that's really interesting to see, and yeah.
And now down to sideline reporter Jayla Miller. Some technical difficulties there on the microphone, but now the fourth quarter will start up. The Bulldogs need to come in and make a statement that they can be beat by any team, no less 8-5.
I know, I think they're trying to keep their undefeated record right now, and 14-0, 15-0 is kind of hanging over them right now.
On the other side, Gary is showing that that record does not define them, as another turnover by the Bulldogs. Donaldson passes it up to Triplett. And a foul on Bryce Peters. I mean, this is extraordinary stuff right here. Peters has 2 fouls.
Crown Point needs to watch these fouls right now. They keep getting them. They got 5 last quarter, and now they started off the quarter with 1, and they're not even a minute in.
Donaldson gets trapped in the corner, and a timeout will be called by the Cougars. Very smart timeout. Can't afford a turnover. 7:43 left to go in the fourth quarter. Cougars up by 7. If you're just joining us here on Game Night, I'm Cameron Qualls alongside Bella Angarone and sideline reporter Jayla Miller.
This has been such an exciting game so far. The crowd is lively, keeping them very hyper, and Crown Point needs to start figuring out what they want to do with this last quarter.
It's been absolutely incredible to watch and commentate. The fact that I've never seen this Crown Point team down this much, let alone look like they don't have momentum and confidence to do anything about it.
Right, and coach needs to start getting that back into them. They need to start getting that drive back like they always have, and they don't have the drive right now.
Crown Point doesn't get down very easily, but right now might be the lowest I've seen them, or the end of that third quarter might be the lowest I've ever seen this team. Oh, and what a pass over to Donaldson. Donaldson just takes it inside and makes the basket. Why not? Now the lead up to 9 again, as Bryce Peters takes the ball up the court for the Bulldogs.
You can tell they're starting a little slow right now, and I feel like they need to get the speed back. Like, Gary's going in with speed, and I feel like Crown Point is acting like they're up by like 20.
Very little movement from a normally very energized Crown Point offense. Dikembe over to Peters. Peters drives in with his left, goes inside, and a foul will be called as he loses control of the ball. 2 free throws coming up for Bryce Peters. Peters 4 points on the night. These are must-have free throws right now. Down by 9 points, 7:02 to go in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they really need these free throws, and I think coach is really hoping on them.
And the first one rattles in. Now 8-point lead for the Cougars, as Peters lines up for his second free throw. Lux and Darrell down in the key, so if he misses this, they are not getting the rebound. But he makes it. Now 7-point lead for the Cougars.
Yeah, you could tell everyone is happy that they made both of those, and you could tell the coaches are telling them something and communicating with their team.
Well, they're not telling them to play defense because wide open in the paint, Caleb Young goes in, who now has 8 points on the game. And another turnover by the Bulldogs outside. No good. Rebounded by Hayes. Hayes, and he's fouled. This is lucrative. And MJ now going to sub in as Dikembe has 3 fouls now on the game as well. Dikembe and Mason both 3 fouls, and those are some of their leaders defensively.
Yeah, they really need to watch out for that, and I think coach needs to start telling them, hold on, just don't keep going after them.
And Hayes sinks his first free throw as MJ comes in for Cooper Molaski. And Hayes will line up for his second. Did not expect Cooper to be subbed out right now instead of Darrell or Lux, as Wilson normally plays a guard position. And Peters now bringing the ball up the court.
Yeah, and it seemed like they had a sub out Cooper because they need some 3-point shooters out right now on the court, so.
Well, you can't shoot a 3-pointer if you're blocked, which Darrell just was by Terrence Hayes. And a foul on Crown Point. So Gary will bring up the ball, leading by 11, the biggest lead of this game. And I keep saying it because the lead keeps growing. Little by little, the lead has grown from 2 and switching every time to 12.
And you could tell definitely Crown Point wants this ball back, so they're doing anything they can to get it there.
MJ Wilson over to Peters. Peters to Darrell. Darrell drives inside, kick out to Peters. Peters looking around over to Darrell. Darrell drives inside, kicks it out to Lux. Lux for the 3, no good. Rebounded by Donaldson. Donaldson with Darrell on him tightly, crosses over, crosses again. Spin move. And Darrell steals it over to MJ. MJ going up, and the ball's poked out, and it will be Gary basketball as the ref saw something different. And Gary will now take the ball down the floor as Caden Rhodes now comes in for Jack Lux.
Yeah, you can tell everyone on Crown Point does not want that. They don't see the same thing the ref saw, so they're not expecting
all the
that.
momentum is on Gary's side right now. The crowd, the bench, everything is loud and ear-piercing in this gym as Hayes just goes in for a little jelly. And there we go, the lead now up to 13. Keep climbing that lead up as Rhodes over to Darrell. Darrell just takes the 3 and sinks it. Mason Darrell, and they needed that. Sometimes as a team, you just need to see the ball go in the basket. Now, Gary only up by 10. I say only very loosely.
And I'm hoping this gave them some momentum. They got points on the board finally after a little while, so let's hope that this gives the team something that they really need.
Now, I mean, exactly what you were saying earlier. The reason that Darrell and Peters and all those guys are out on the floor together is because they need shooting. They need to get points right now. That's the only thing that they can do and shoot at a high level to get this lead to be smaller or even overcome it. 5:05 left in the fourth. Crown Point has 3 fouls, so 2 more, and Gary's in the bonus.
They cannot get these fouls right now. They need to really watch out. And if you look at that, Caden Rhodes is now back on the floor. So that should be a good help for them.
As Hayes goes to pass the ball all the way over. And it will be a turnover for Gary. Crown Point now with the ball. Hopefully this gives them some momentum to kick it into gear and really start playing Bulldog basketball.
Yeah, they blocked him really well on that last one, so I think that they really need to drive down. They're here, they're right there. It's right in sight, so they just need to get it there. and watch out for this defense.
Rhodes inside. No good off the backboard. Rebounded by Young. And a jump ball. And it will be Gary basketball with that jump ball. Young just goes up and towers over everybody.
Like we said earlier, it's the height of him, and that's one of the advantages Gary has right now. He's been helping them a lot with grabbing that ball and just getting it back to their side.
Height and weight, the biggest factor for Caleb Young, being 6'8", 305. An absolute monster in the paint. And here comes Hayes. Hayes with Darrell stealing the ball, goes up for the layup, and it's good. Mason Darrell now motivated to cut this lead down. Lead down to 8 for Gary, as Donaldson with Mason again on him. Crown Point's bench is on their feet. And a foul, and Mason Darrell is beside himself after getting crossed, and then a foul. Not on him, but on the team. Look at this move. Got him tripping with the back, behind the back. I mean, he's been doing that all night, and the redirect, the shiftiness of Hayes is impressive, to say the least.
And Mason Darrell's been really watching Hayes, and I think that's really good for them because they really need to watch Hayes right now because he's been doing everything for them.
Donaldson driving inside, over, oh my, Caleb Young just bullies his way into the paint. And a turnover again by the Bulldogs. Lead back up to 10, 61-51 with 4:05 left to go in this game. Crown Point has 4 fouls, 1 away from the bonus.
Crown Point is looking tired right now, and they need to push through these last 4 minutes. They need to get some points on the board. They need to use these players to get the points.
And Donaldson sinks the bucket, now lead up to 12 for the Cougars. 3:46 left to go in this fourth quarter. This game is seeming more and more like Gary is gonna pull away with the win against the undefeated out-of-conference Crown Point Bulldogs. And now the Bulldogs to pass it in after a foul by Gary. Bryce Peters will bring this ball up. Swan trying to talk some sense into his guys. Rhodes looking around to Darrell. Darrell thought about the shot, didn't take it. Back to Rhodes, over to Peters. Peters back to Rhodes. Rhodes to Darrell. Darrell takes the three. No good. Rebounded Young.
You could tell that Darrell really wanted that, and the team really did too. And he's really trying. He's putting himself out there, and he's hoping that anything would work at this point.
And a foul will be called on, looks like, Mason Darrell, which is not good. 4 fouls now for him, 1 more, and he's out of the game.
Yeah,
and
Crown Point now has 5 fouls on this quarter.
Double bonus for the Cougars. Every time they get fouled from now on, they shoot 2 free throws, which is not beneficial for this team at all, for this Crown Point team, who's already down by 12. As Hayes barely misses.
This was not what we were wanting in this last 3 minutes left. We cannot get any more fouls right now.
12-point lead with 3:13 left to go. A little bit more from Gary, and this game will be out of reach. Caden Rhodes over to Peters. Peters back to Rhodes. Back to Peters. Peters takes the three. Doesn't go in. MJ with the rebound. Dikembe gets the ball under the basket, and a foul will be called on Gary. Dikembe to shoot 2 free throws now.
You can tell that Crown Point is just going for anything at this point. Any points that they can get, they're just going for every shot.
Yeah, and Dikembe, after the pass from MJ, just gets under there and gets absolutely hammered by 2 Cougars. As Dikembe now to shoot his first free throw of the quarter. These are must-make free throws right here. And he sinks the first one. Lead now to 12 for Gary. Again, another must-make free throw for Dikembe to cut this lead to 11. And he makes it.
Coach Swan is now trying to communicate to the guys right here, like, come on, get your act together right now.
And Donaldson dribbling around Crown Point's defense. Donaldson has had a great handle all night. And Hayes driving inside. Ball bounces off his foot, no call. Donaldson to Young. Young back to Donaldson. Donaldson guarded by MJ Wilson. Donaldson driving inside. MJ doing a great job of forcing him to his right. Mosley, Young, and a foul by Dikembe Shaw. And that will be 5 fouls on Dikembe Shaw. He is out of this game.
Crown Point is not happy about that one. Seeing Dikembe Shaw, who has tried everything, is a great on every scores and out now of this game.
And the Gary bench and the Gary stands are chirping right now as Crown Point's leading scorer is out of the game, fouling out with 2:16 to go in the fourth quarter. Cooper Mulaski now comes in to replace him.
I'm sure Coach Swan is now scrambling to figure something out now.
And I'll tell you what, compared to Caleb Young, Cooper Mulaski looks like a child out there.
He really does. That height has been such a key factor in this game.
Young missed his first, now going up for his second free throw. 2:16 left to go. If the Bulldogs don't make a move here, this game will be out of reach for them. As Young misses his second, MJ with the rebound over to Peters.
You can tell MJ really wants this, and he's playing really aggressive against this defense right now. He's waiting in the corner trying to get open.
Darrell going inside and takes the layup, double clutch. As now Jacoby Donaldson brings it up for Gary to Young. Oh my goodness, this crowd is absolutely insane at the moment. Terrence Hayes over to Donaldson, back to Mosley. Mosley guarded by Peters, back to Hayes. Hayes spins around Peters. Inside to, and a foul will be called on Crown Point. And the foul will be on, looks like MJ Wilson, who now has 3 fouls. Bryce Peters.
These fouls just keep racking up on all of these players. We don't need this right now. I guarantee Coach Swan is mad, and you could tell on his face that he's trying to figure something out.
Mason Darrell with the possibility to also be out of this game if he fouls one more time. Now Gary getting free throws every single time they get fouled. Lead to 10, 135. The Bulldogs need a push here and now to get this game back into winnable fashion. Caden Rhodes, 1:30 left to go. Caden Rhodes over to Darrell. Darrell passes it. Turnover by the Bulldogs. Hayes is fouled on his way down the court. 1:20 in the fourth. 11-point lead for Gary. This game, people from Crown Point are starting to leave the stands to avoid traffic as they see this game as out of reach.
I'm sure that's not going to help the momentum.
If Terrence Hayes sinks these 2 free throws, this game is most likely out of reach with a 13-point lead for the Bulldogs.
And you could totally tell this crowd is so lively right now. They're so excited. They're hyping this guy up right now. And that's really helping Gary out.
He is their leading scorer both tonight and overall, scoring 22 tonight. I mean, a phenomenal game by Terrence Hayes as Darrell just pulls up and sinks the 3 to cut the lead to 10 points. 68-58 now with 1:14 left to go in the fourth quarter.
And Mason Darrell has been so great, giving them so many points right now. He has sunk all of these pretty much.
Definitely making up for the early game fouls and doing a great job at not fouling to eject himself from the game. If Mason Darrell comes out of this game right now, it is all but over for the Bulldogs.
It truly is, because Mason Darrell is getting them all of their points right now. I feel like someone else needs to get open and try to help him out just in case he gets fouled.
Not only is he a great player, but he is the leader for energy on this Bulldog team. You see him make a three, he starts screaming. But also on the other side, you see him make a mistake, he gets down on himself. He's a very emotional player, he's very into it. But right now, the Bulldogs need motivation.
It could be great, but it can also hurt the team in a way as well.
And the Bulldogs now full court pressing, the only way that they can defend right now to have the possibility of winning this game. And now Donaldson with Peters on him, over to Hayes. Hayes just struts in there, misses over to Young, and a foul will be called on Cooper Molaski. 1:01 left to go in the fourth quarter.
This is exactly not what we wanted right now. We wanted the opposite. We would like to be getting this free throw, but this is not happening for us.
This is the most hyper opposite crowd I've ever seen. This is the most I've seen Crown Point lose by this season because they haven't lost a game. And this is the most down I've seen Crown Point emotionally this entire season.
Right, Gary is so lively right now, and Crown Point is just, they're accepting defeat right now. And
whether it comes to the players on the court, the bench, the stands, everything is so alive, and they're all screaming every time they make a play.
They're just so excited to see their team win.
They come in this game as heavy underdogs and are showing that you should never take out the underdog. 8-5 against 14-0.
You can tell Peters is trying to get down there, score anything he can,
and a turnover again, and a foul on Bryce Peters. Jerry Triplett with the steal, and now the free throws. Unfortunately, Bella, it seems like this game is out of reach for the Bulldogs, and the Gary 21st Century Cougars will go and give the Bulldogs their first loss for a 14-1 record, raising the Cougars record to 9-5.
This is good. I completely agree with you, Cam. This is pretty bad for the Bulldogs, and it's their first loss. This is going to be a very tough loss for them, so it's going to be very hard coming out of this.
Losing against a non-conference team whose record isn't even close to yours is not something that is loved by Swan, especially you can bet that the guys will be watching a lot of film after this game. Peters to Darrell. Darrell takes the three, why not? Misses it a little too long there. Hayes trying to find something, to stays in bounds somehow, and a foul on Peters. Now at this point are intentionally fouling to get the ball back on their side. 39 seconds to go. This game is all but over for the Bulldogs.
It truly is, Cam, and it's a tough loss for them, and I'm sure they're very frustrated, so.
But also a humbling loss, I would say.
Yes, right.
You know, it shows this team is not unbeatable. This team has weaknesses. And now they can use this to improve on those weaknesses, and Gary can use this to be like, okay, we just beat the second-ranked team in the state. What did we do that game that made us so dominant?
Right, and Crown Point's going to have to try to figure out what made them not so dominant in this game and try to help them out.
Bryce Peters, 35 seconds to go, just shoots the ball, misses it. Oh, MJ gets it and scores the bucket. 30 seconds to go, 12-point lead by Gary. Donaldson will take the ball down the court. Inside to Mosley, and Mosley will get that bucket back. 14-point lead, 15 seconds to go. And a foul will be called on Gary. As now Crown Point will shoot free throws. Just slowing down the game right now. 12.8 seconds, 14-point lead. This game is out of reach right now for the Bulldogs. They will pass it in to Peters, and Peters takes the deep three, airballs it, and Luck stepped out of bounds. 8.2 seconds left on the clock. Gary will dribble the ball out here if they can get it in bounds.
Yeah, as you can tell, Crown Point is just shooting anything right now. Anything they can get. As you can tell, Gary now is cheering. They're super excited.
Listen to that crowd.
Yep, there it is.
They are roaring right now. First loss of the year for these Crown Point Bulldogs. And I gotta say, Bella, I'm astounded.
Me too. This has been such an exciting game, and I don't even know what I would do if I was Crown Point. That locker room is going to be a pretty tough night, and they've never had one of those before. So
again, I've never seen Crown Point so down in the dumps emotionally, and how they were communicating, how they were playing, and just everything was not going their way tonight. But Gary, on the other hand, they were loud, they were excited, they were energetic. The crowd was into the game like I've never seen before.
Right, they were standing up, they were cheering, they were doing everything to help this momentum of this team. And I don't know, I think Crown Point just took that and was like, what can we do with it? And they didn't do anything great, so it's okay.
It was an absolutely incredible game, but now we go down to our sideline reporter, Jalen Miller, with Darren Page of 21st Century.
Well tonight, did this game carry a little bit of weight knowing that you could have knocked off the #2 team in the state?
Yeah, it carried a lot of weight considering majority of the guys from Crown Point are also my former AAU teammates from childhood. So it was a lot of competition, a lot of animosity during the game, you know, so I had to take home the W. My team came, they showed their tails. I'm super proud of me and my boys. I'm just happy we come out with the W.
Congratulations. What's your post-game celebration meal?
Nothing too crazy. I'll probably go like Chick-fil-A or something. Nothing crazy.
Well, congratulations. No problem. Back to you guys.
Chick-fil-A for post-game celebration. You know what? I can't hate on it.
No, it's so exciting. They got to go celebrate how they want to celebrate.
But
so it's going to be great for them.
I mean, he's absolutely right. There's animosity. You could see the crowds were against each other. The players were showing, especially the Gary players were showing, they mean business. The record doesn't mean anything. It's all about this game here and now.
Right, and like I said, the record doesn't mean a thing right now. Like, this is great, and I think the Bulldogs need to maybe realize that, and maybe could have prepped a bit better for this game. Maybe they just thought that this was not going to be super tough. So I think this is going to be a little bit of a wake-up call for the Bulldogs right now.
Very true, and mostly the main thing that they need to diminish are fouls and up their rebounds. They didn't get the entire second quarter. They barely got a box out. They couldn't get on the front of the Gary players. They kept getting behind them, and the amount of offensive rebounds that they were able to achieve were absolutely ridiculous. And the foul, one player fouling out, almost two fouling out. Dikembe Shaw, their leading scorer and leading rebounder, fouling out of the game, was the beginning of the end for this game, and how the Bulldogs were unfortunately taken down as the undefeated team.
Right, and Dikembe Shaw is like their star right now. He leads in everything. He's doing great. He's a top point scorer, and taking him out of the game with those fouls was not great for them. That hurt the team tremendously, in my opinion.
The UIC commit has led the team all year in points and rebounds per game, and taking him out just affects the already bad rebounding problem. Mason Darrow getting 4 fouls of his own, but also splashing some clutch threes down the stretch. Well, we got to talk about the guy on Gary that really pushed this game to the pedal to the metal pretty much, which is Terrence Hayes, as Jayla just interviewed him. 21 points above his average. What else can you say? He was the leader of this team. He facilitated. He was a great slasher, a great playmaker. He was everything to this team tonight.
Yes, and he was talking to his team, like communicating. He was passing it to Triplet a bunch, and he was just talking to everybody. And he was a great communicator and really great player for this team. And I think they really had to watch out for him. And I know assistant coach told us that he wanted to watch out for #1, and I don't think that they watched out for him enough, in my opinion.
Yeah, and even when they did watch out for him, they pressed up on him more, or they tried to stop him from scoring. All he would do was give it to Donaldson, and Donaldson would dribble around the entire defense and go in for a bucket or pass it out to Triplet. It's an absolutely phenomenal way that Gary played this game today, being able to beat an otherwise fantastic Bulldog defense and outscore a mostly fantastic Bulldog offense. And the man in the middle, Caleb Young, out-strengthening Dikembe and Cooper Molaski, respectively. What else can you say? I mean,
some of those one-hand catches, that was excellent to see. He was a team player. He grabbed his size, was a huge factor in this too as well. And I know you mentioned he's taller than Cooper and Dikembe, and that really helped him out a lot, I think.
I have never seen a player the size of Cooper Molaski look like a point guard out there with how short that Young made him look, and Dikembe for that matter, just going in there, out-strengthening, out-sizing them, getting all the offensive boards that gave Gary that momentum originally. It was an absolutely incredible show for them.
It really was, and like we said before, one of the keys to the game, that height does matter, and in this game it truly did.
And even though the undefeated streak for Crown Point is snapped, the other thing that has to end is this broadcast. So thank you all so much for tuning in to Game Night presented by CPTV. Thank you all for that work behind the scenes to help make this broadcast possible. Other than that, I'm Cameron Qualls. I'm with Annabella Angarone, sideline reporter Jayla Miller, and we will see you all next time.